The last method that we are going to deal here is capital asset pricing model. Capital asset pricing model, which has been developed by Harry Markowitz in order to help the investor to make their portfolio, that is return, to get an optimum portfolio return. What does capital asset pricing stands for? The capital asset, in the sense, the asset which is being invested, the investor has to get a good rate of return. How do we get a rate of return? When we invest, then only we get a rate of return. So based on a return, we use this method, that is whether the price has been overpriced, the cost of shares has been overpriced or underpriced. Here we try to find out a relationship between risk and return on a portfolio. Portfolio means it's a group of asset when it has been invested. And point 2, we try to find out a relationship between risk and return of an individual security. As I specified, capital asset pricing model give focus towards finding out a relationship between risk and return. Risk is an uncertainty. Return is a total return that we are going to get. So how do you calculate risk? Risk is a measure in here in terms of cost called beta. Beta is a factor which directly involve company as well as a market. The company return as well as a market return will be taken into consideration. If beta is 1, I repeat, if beta is 1, 1% return leads to 1% change in market return. If beta is 1, there is no risk, that is less risk, average risk. If beta is more than 1, more risk, more return. If beta is less than 1, less risk, less return. I repeat, if beta is 1, beta is designated as 1, that is a total combination of market as well as a company, return on market as well as return on a company. We do treat it as an X and Y concept in a security analysis portfolio management. Here the beta concepts explain about the volatility of the market and a company. How does market react to the company? How does company react towards a market? Okay, when it comes to that, we take a combination of beta as 1. Factor 1 represent high risk, average risk. If beta is more than 1, it means that it is a high risk and we get a high return. Okay, if beta is less than 1, that means low risk, low return. That is how we try to focus. So capital asset pricing model tries to find out a relationship between risk and return for individual securities that we call it as an individual company or a group of company. So RF stands for risk free rate plus beta, the combination of company return as well as a market return. This is RM stands for return on market minus RF. This is a factor which would be explaining the concept of CAPM, that is to find out the combination of risk and return. Here under this concept, we do have a certain assumption. There tax is not being considered and there is a homogeneous expectation. What is that homogeneous? If I expect 10% on the company which has been invested, the rest you all also expect the same return, which cannot be happen. That is a major criticism. First is no transaction cost, no service cost, no tax cost, and we do expect an homogeneous expectations with regard to risk and that is homogeneous expectations of a return, and we do consider that is a common return from each individual investors. So here when we come across with RF plus RF, this is a formula that we use to calculate CAPM, and it is also considered as cost of equity, that is calculation of a return under CAPM method. So this is a brief description with regard to capital asset pricing model. So look up to the example. Using CAPM, determine the required rate of return on equity for the following conditions. They have given 5 different conditions. Condition may be recession, boom, normal, or a certain average. So we call it as bull market, bear market, lame duck market, when the market movements can also be given, or the basing upon as we are exposed to the market, we come across with the inflation, deflation also, and GDP also. So based on that we go with the boom, normal, or any other situation. The situation has been explained with 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. RM, return on market, and situation 1, the return on market is 15%, RF is 10% and beta is 1. Okay. Beta 1 represents average risk. Situation 2, RM is 18, RF is 14, that is a risk free rate of return, that is a hedge against your inflation. That means beta is 0.7, that is less than 1, but means low risk, low return. 3, return of market is 15, RF is 8, 1.2 more than 1, which has been high return, high risk. Fourth situation, 17, your return on market is 17, risk free rate is 11, beta is 8, which is less than 1. And fifth situation, return on market is 16, whereas risk free rate is 10 and the beta is almost 2, that is 1.9. This is the content they have given. You have to calculate the return and you have to suggest which situation is better for you. Okay, the situation has been explained with 1 to 5. So, this is the formula, RF plus beta into RF minus RF. They can calculate find out the risk return relationship. You can represent it as a KE also. This is one more method, addition along with the dividend price approach, earning price approach, dividend growth approach. This under CAPM method you can calculate like this, that is cost of equity, that is the cost of return that has been calculated with the CAPM model, that is capital asset pricing method, that is RF plus beta into RM minus RF. RF risk free rate, B stands for beta, which explains the market return as well as a company return. Try to find out a risk return relationship between market and a company return, and market return will be taken as a base, and risk free rate, the rate which has been mentioned, rate of inflation. So, situation 1, RF is 10, beta has a specified 1, 15, that is market return is 15 and minus 10, that gives you total return is 15%. When you substitute first minus 15 minus 10, 5, 5 into 1, 5, that gives you 15%, which is a very simplest problem. We can't go into detail since it is a basic, so I am giving a basic just for you. Okay. So, this is first situation. Second situation, RF is 14 as mentioned in the question, you can check, plus 0.7, that is beta at 0.7, and RM is 18 minus 14, that is RF is 14, 18 minus 4 into 0.7 you will get 2.8. So, 14 plus 2.8 your return is 16.8, your return is 16. So, situation 1 15%, situation 2 16.8%, and third one you have RF of 8%. Situation 3 you have a RF of 8, that is, sorry, I have mentioned here, yes, RF as 8, okay, 8 plus, and you have a beta of 1.2, okay, and 15 minus 8, and 15 minus 8, that gives you, that is 15 minus 8 will give you 7, so 7 into 2, that gives you, sorry, it is a 1.2, yeah, that gives you, multiplied here with 7 into 1.2, that gives you 8.84. So, that means 8 plus 8.84, that gives you 16.4%. So, the return is 16.4%. Sorry, I have done a mistake here, 8 is a, that is 8 is considered as a risk free rate in a situation 3. Now, under situation 4, risk free rate is 11 plus 0.8, 0.8 is your beta, 17 minus 11 will give you 4.8. So, it is 15.8% is your return on fourth situation. Under fifth situation, RF is 10%, beta is 1.9, how much? 1.9, 16 minus 10, that means which gives you 11.4 into 10, 21.4% is the return. As you look into this, you might be thinking at what is the purpose of doing it. Okay. So, when I tell CAPM is to know about, to get the relationship, to know the relationship between individual security and a group of security, since this situation they have given, we consider it as an individual situation. So, under this situation, you have to find it for a highest return. So, first one 15, no, second 16.8, comparatively higher, and this is similar 15. The fifth situation you have got 21.4%. How much? 21.4% is a highest return comparatively for the other 4. You can see here the beta of all the situation comparatively, beta is 1.9. As I specified, if beta is higher, risk is also higher, return is also higher. Okay. So, you have to generalize the statement stating that situation 5 is best because comparatively we have received a return of 21.4% since beta is more than 1. You can check, and beta you have one more, that is in a situation 3 you have got 1.2, but the return is 16.7. The highest beta is situation 5. That is how risk and return relationship will be find out. So, here see 1.2, 0.7, so you have got the lowest return, 1 average 15%, and here 0.8, 15.8%. Comparatively the highest beta, the highest return has been calculated. This is how we need to calculate the capital that is return under capital asset pricing model. This can be considered as a cost of equity also. Under this method, we also come across with beta can be given single beta and rest other, RF can be similar, RM will differ, and beta can be similar. You can do it on basis of that also. And one more concept under here is marginal cost of capital. What do you mean by marginal cost of capital? The capital which is being raised for an additional capital. Okay. So, methods are similar with regard to an calculation of weighted average cost of capital. The same thing will be applicable here also under marginal cost of capital. So, here we have come to an end of cost of capital of the second phase. First I have explained the theory, that is the sources of capital. The second phase I have explained with regard to an cost of capital, and thank you.